Hey, 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 hey. How are ya? Let's go there. Okay, it's going to take me just a little bit. I've got an issue. Yeah, I saw that. Okay. Hi, darling. How are you, darling? Okay. Good. I'm glad. So, which would you rather have? You told me, Danny, you said 2 and 7, and now you're saying 3 and 7. So, which one would you rather I read? Okay, I'll start off with chapters 2 and see how much time I got, and then I need to stop about 8:50 or so because I need enough time in order to get set up for my other one. Okay. I know that's about to go hockey. It's gotta be Shelby's. Okay. Erg. Why is this giving me a hard time? Okay, chapter 7. You said I had too many Kindle devices set up, so I'm trying to. I don't know what the crap that's about. It's just giving me a hard time. Yeah, I wished. I'll be with you guys in just a minute. Don't sweat it. Who else is with us tonight? We got 2 other people on here tonight. There's Raven. Hey, Miss Raven. Who's my 4th person? Let's see. Okay, there we go. No, it's sort of in my library. 77 degrees here. And I'm wrapping in a blanket. There's 77 degrees outside. It's 70 degrees in here. I'm waiting for everything to bring up, y'all. Yeah, Nina, Vince, you guys help me watch the time. Now I got my phone sitting right here, so if it will ever load. I swear. Nope, just everybody come here. Hey, Jody Ball. What the frackers? Okay. Hey, Nathan. How are you, darling? Are you working yourself to death? Just think of all that mega money you're making. Yes. Do not give me a hard time. There. Yes. Okay. So, apparently, I'm reading chapter 7 tonight. Love and Beyond, the part 1 by Mr. Nathan Colston. One of the members of my team. It's book 2. or Dancer's Curse of Love, Part 1, Book 2. So I'm going to chapter 7, girls. Oh, yeah, that's a good long chapter. That should work about right. That way Mr. Nathan can get in bed early tonight, too. Maybe. Bless him. Bless him. Some of us just have to work it. Yeah, yep, that's what I'm told. We all know we all got to do what Nina says. All right, chapter 7. Gloria was in the kitchen taking things out for dinner. She had started cooking when Bobby walked in. If you can be reasonable about a few more things, I would like to talk to you. What's on your mind? She asked. Are you coming back to France in the fall? Not likely. When the others graduate, I will likely stay in Mississippi. I don't know what Stanley has in mind. Our dancing career is over, at least professionally, that is. How is he doing? It surprised Gloria to hear actual concern in his voice. I don't know. He sends me emails only, and he's not very informative. He says he's doing well. The normal I love you and miss you. Cody tells me more than Stanley does. He's in Washington State dealing with some mental problems. That's about all I know. William knows more than anyone, but William's very good at minding his own business and keeping secrets. Her voice was concerned and slightly confused. Bobby walked over and opened the freezer. He got a glass and pulled out a bottle of wine. May I? She looked over. Yes. Make me one too, please. He opened the bottle and poured them a glass. Then he walked over and stood behind Gloria, setting the glass down on the counter. Looks good. His body was close to hers. Feels good too. Can we start the knife thing over now? I can help this time. Sure. He reached for a knife. She grabbed his hand and said in a low voice, You're crazy, you know that? Thank you for the wine. Now back up, please. Show some kindness and you get grand delusions. Bobby backed away. No, just admiring the smell of the food. And you, no grand delusions here. You can stay the night, Bobby. That way I know you'll eat in the morning. This place has many bedrooms. I'm sure you can find one that'll make you comfortable. Besides, Angelina would love to be fed by her daddy in the morning. Bobby finished the glass of wine. When Gloria's was low, he filled them again. You could talk to William about a job. Oh, you could talk to William about a job over the summer, she said. Chandler Dance Supplies is worldwide. He could arrange for you to get a job in the fall when you come back to France. Not sure I'm coming back to France in the fall. Why do you say that? Primrose is a fine institute. I saw your last performance with the others. I know you'll be on the scholarship list. He turned up his glass of wine and set it down. I'm starting to like dancing with Nicole too much. I don't want to end up like you. No offense. Also, I don't want to be that far away from my children. Then find you a girlfriend. You don't have to just see her. As for the kids, we can work something out. I don't see Nicole except for class. They go out on weekends and do things. I sit in the hotel. Brittany goes out and does things Saturdays while I'm with the kids. You do have friends, Bobby. I'm just talking about at school. Reuben and Natasha are very fond of you, and Brittany, they would. I know I could ask Reuben for anything. Same for William, I think. But Gloria, I'm my own person. What they have, they earned. Gloria turned. Bobby, everyone needs help sometimes. Do you think you would be the first person to ask for help? They all know you're trying to better yourself and want that for you, Bobby. You're a fool if you don't take the opportunity that you have. Something that you did for me, Gloria. You and Stanley gave me so much, a life that I wouldn't have even thought of was possible. You have given me far more than I could ever repay. All of my dreams, except for one, are within my reach. Do you think I can walk away from that, Gloria? But the one dream I cannot make come true is the most valuable of them all. He walked over and touched her face. This boy knows the man he wants to grow up to be. So what if you say I'm a mistake? Those words from you don't hurt nearly as much as it did hearing them from my father. Now that now that is a bum, Gloria. I'm nothing like him. Bobby walked over, got another glass of wine, and filled hers up. As he walked out of the room, he threw the empty bottle in the trash. She turned around and started cooking again. When the food was done, she walked to where Bobby was. He was playing with Robert, who was smiling and laughing. Then he would tickle Angelina. Gloria stood and watched for a moment, then she walked over. Food is done. He picked up Robert. Let's go get num nums. He reached down and got Angelina, and they walked to the kitchen. Gloria took Robert and placed him in the carrier. Bobby sat looking at the food, but waited until Robert finished his bottle. Then he cleaned up Angelina. You can't be done, Gloria said, looking at Bobby's almost full plate. Get full. I'm over full. It was good. Thank you for the meal. He stood up and got another glass of wine. Gloria held up her glass. He walked over and filled it and set the bottle back in the freezer. From the front room down the hall on the left, let's see. From the front room down the hall on the left leads to the nursery. They're in the second room on the left. A bathroom is on the right, 2 doors down from theirs. There are 7 bedrooms down that hall. You can have any one of them you want. He nodded but didn't say anything as he sat drinking his wine. When he was done, he got up and walked out of the room. He walked to the nursery and kissed the kids. Gloria walked in and gave the kids a kiss and walked out. She went to her room and looked back. Bobby was standing watching them sleep. She walked into her room and left the door cracked. About an hour later, Bobby got out of the shower and walked back to the kitchen. He poured another glass of wine and walked to the front room to sit on the sofa. Gloria came walking in wearing a negligee that went halfway down to her knees. Bobby gave her an appraising look as she didn't have on a bra and was wearing a red thong that had lace around the top. She stopped. I thought you were in bed. He held up his glass. Drinking and thinking. A dangerous combination. Don't get drunk. I won't. So why are you up? Thinking about Stanley. I thought I would have some wine as well. Want a refill? Bobby turned the glass and held it up. Yes, please. She walked over, took his glass, and walked to the kitchen. She poured them a glass and took the bottle back with her. There was enough to have just one glass each. So, what are you thinking about? She said as she handed him the glass. I know you don't want to hear what I'm thinking about. She could tell by the look on his face that he was thinking hard about something. He took the glass and she walked over and sat down in a chair across from him. Thanks. You're probably right, I don't. But I will hear about it anyway. I was thinking about how much I enjoyed this afternoon. Not fighting. We hardly talked, but we didn't fight. I wasn't insulted beyond words. And other things, normal life crap that you don't care about or care to hear about. I'll sort it out. I always do. Let's hear how wonderful Stanley is. What's on your mind? She leaned back in the chair. No, I wasn't really thinking about how wonderful he is, more like how he is. That's what's on my mind. Maybe you should consider a relationship with Brittany. There's no question that she cares a great deal for you. You care a lot for her. She's a pretty girl, even though I can't stand the bitch. Bobby just nodded and didn't say anything. He wasn't going to go there with her. After a moment of him not saying anything, she said, Dancing is good for you, Bobby. I think you could go far. Bobby laughed. Yeah, several times I started to take dancing to a whole new level, taking the deep plunge with my dance mate, joined the life of the cursed. He turned his glass up. The alcohol started to kick in. Speaking of dancing, would you care to dance? She laughed slightly and said flatly, No, I only want to dance with one man, and you're not that man. Bobby snickered a little. Now that's a surprise. He smiled at her, and she smiled back. You have money now. Call Brittany. She would dance with you. Life Fantastic would definitely dance with you. Bobby laughed. Dancing with her and drinking, not a good combination. Losing my mind over one woman is quite enough for me, thank you. But still, she could take away the pain, I suppose. Gloria laughed. It's an experience. She turned her glass up. He held his glass. To life's experiences. He pulled his cell phone out and called Nicole. He got her voicemail. Her lucky night, and she didn't answer. Just my luck, he said to Gloria. He walked over and took the bottle, filled his glass up, and then filled Gloria's. There was about half a glass left in the bottle. He turned it up and drank half. He held the bottle out toward her. To what was? Best mistake of my life and the worst of yours. She smiled and took the bottle. I can drink to that. She turned the bottle up. He held down on the small tab beside the. He held out his hand and she placed the bottle in it. He walked back over and set the bottle down on the small table beside the sofa. They sat without saying another word. Why do I keep wearing those glasses? There we go. Gloria finished her glass. She walked towards the kitchen. Bobby met her and she stopped looking at him. I got it, he said softly. He took the glass from her hand. Good night, Gloria. She turned and walked away. Bobby turned and walked towards the kitchen. He grabbed the bottle as he passed by the table. He walked to the kitchen and washed all the dishes after throwing the bottle in the trash. He walked through the house, turning lights off as he went. He turned the light off in the room where they had drunk the wine. He sat down on the sofa. He thought for about 30 minutes and then got up and walked down the hall. The nightlight shone down the hall. He came to Gloria's room and her door was open. He walked in and lay down on the other side of the bed. You asleep? No. He turned towards her. You mind if I sleep in here with you? She didn't say anything. You want to roll over and talk to me? No, Bobby, I don't want to talk to you. Why can't we be friends, Gloria? You can't say that you don't care because look at what you did today. I can't say I don't care, Bobby, and I don't. It's just, you're young. There's a lot of potential for a bright, promising future if you keep your head on straight. I may seem to be a complete cold hearted bitch to you, but I'm not, Bobby. You want something that you can't have. I know how that feels. I understand. Bobby grabbed her shoulder and she didn't fight him as he turned her over on her back. The cover moved back to around her stomach. She looked at him. How do you understand, Gloria? I know what it's like to want something you can't have. Most everyone has experienced that at one time or another. We can't be friends, Bobby. Look at what I did today. Look at what I did today has gotten us to right now. Most of the afternoon was out of acts of friendship. Look at where you are. I'm only in here because you want me in here, Gloria. Don't be absurd. He placed his hand on her face. Why is the bedroom door open? Why did you walk in the front room dressed the way you were dressed if you didn't want me in here? You're practically screaming, look at me. Sorry about that. I didn't know you were in there, or I wouldn't have come in dressed the way I was. I did not see a need to turn around and go back for a robe. You've seen me in far less than that, Bobby. My bedroom door was open because I didn't have a nightlight on. I didn't want to walk in the dark because I had been drinking. I didn't want to trip over something. I didn't want to walk to the bed, turn the lamp on, walk back, shut the door, and get in the bed. In case you didn't look at the floor to see, there were several things someone could have tripped over. I told you I didn't want to talk. Good night, Bobby. She turned back and faced the wall. Do you want me to get out? He said curiously. She didn't say anything. She lay there looking at the wall after a few minutes. She felt her body being pulled over on her back again. I don't want. Then she stopped because Bobby kissed her. His hand touched her face. She didn't return his kiss. I want to show you that it's over between us. But if it was over between us, why was I happy that Nicole didn't answer the phone? She thought. When he was done kissing, he said in a low voice, I don't believe you, Gloria. It could be true. Everything that you said. I think you care for me. She laughed and said, I told you not to get grand delusions. The best way in the world to find out about a theory is to test it. All you have to do is say stop, no, or get out. I will stop what I'm doing. I won't ask any questions. I will keep I will quit and get up and walk out your door. It's just me and you. The kids are asleep. No need to fight about it or even carry on a conversation about it. Stop or get out. He kissed her again. Again, she didn't return his kiss. He kissed her cheek. His hand started going down the front of her body, then underneath the cover. He thought, God, her skin is so soft. She's so beautiful. She was still, she was still as he kissed down the side of her face. Her hand went down to the bottom of her negligee. He got to the bottom of her earlobe. He said softly, his breath hot on her neck. What's the matter, Gloria? Out of all the things you've said to me tonight, stop or get out should be very easy. She thought, I don't know, but this is reckless of me. I should say stop. He took her earlobe into his mouth and sucked on it gently, the tip of his tongue barely rubbing the bottom of it. He started pulling the front of the negligee up slowly. She closed her eyes. You're good, but you're not getting anything from me. The negligee was pulled up to her hips. She didn't tug on it hard. He didn't tug on it hard at all. Her weight kept it from coming up. What do you think? I'm just going to let you have what you want? When it wouldn't come up any farther because she was lying on it, he gave a gentle tug. It didn't come up because she didn't raise up. Not a chance, bub, but he's good at this. If I don't say stop, he's going to take it all the way. God, he knows how to turn me on. Not this time, bud. I'm going to show you just how much I love Stanley. When you think I can't stop, that's when I'm going to tell you to stop. He started kissing the side of her neck. He took his finger and rubbed side to side on her waist, just above her slit. He kissed her neck down to her shoulder. He started kissing her across. Girls, hot flash kids. Mm-hmm. He started kissing the side of her neck. He took his finger and rubbed side to side on her waist, just above her slit. He kissed her neck down to her shoulder. He started kissing her shoulder at the top of her chest to her collarbone, just below her throat. Not working. Wait 1 second. Something isn't right. I'm not wishing he was Stanley. I don't see Stanley's face. I'm in love with Stanley. Why is that not happening? Ugh, that's okay. I will still stop you. Just wait and see. His hot breath blowing on her body. He felt the hairs on her skin rising and goosebumps everywhere he kissed. He's turning me on bigger than shit. Every hair on my body is standing up. He started kissing up her neck and the center of her throat. The nipples on her breast started to harden. Damn, how does he do that? His hands started to move down. Her legs were closed, and his hands started downwards. She parted them slightly for him. Damn, why did I do that? I should say stop. But this feels so good. I'll push him just a little longer, get him all worked up, and then pull the rug from under his feet. Oh, God, what the hell am I doing? As he was kissing up her neck, she leaned her head back so he could kiss her under her chin. He took his finger and rubbed around the outside of her panties. Damn, he knows how to make me want to beg him to fuck the shit out of me. If I don't stop, if I don't stop this, that's what he's going to do. Okay, just a little while longer. I can hold on. This feels so good. She was wet. He could feel the moisture through her panties. She lowered her head as he got to the top of her chin. His finger pressed down on the panties, and he went from the entrance of her love up between her slit on the outside of her panties. He kissed her again, but she didn't return his kiss. Nope, not going to do it. I'm stronger than you think when it comes to this. He took her bottom lip between his teeth and pulled it out slightly. He moved his hand down to the negligee. He tugged on it lightly, but she still didn't move. He looked at her for a moment and she looked into his eyes. Maybe not. After all that I've done to you, how can you look at me like that? Oh God, this is not where I should be. Stop, stop. Oh shit, my mouth won't say the words. I can't do this to Stanley. Oh God, what the hell? He kissed her again and tugged at the negligee. She kissed him back and lifted her hips so the negligee would come up. As he kissed her, he kept pulling the negligee up. She lifted her body as it came up. I shouldn't have done that. God, he's so hard. If I stop him now, he's going to go find someone. He's been drinking. Why should I care? I'm in love with Stanley. The negligee reached past the center of her chest. Bobby moved his head and placed the nipple of her breast in his mouth. He started sucking on it and nibbling. I have missed this so much. What the hell? I didn't just say that, or I didn't just think that. The negligee was now to the bottom of her throat. She lifted her shoulders and neck. He raised her arms and it went over her head. She lowered her arms, pulling them out of it. Bobby sat Bobby set it down beside her, his breathing harder now. He slid over closer to her. She could feel him next to her. He was hard. He moved up her breast and lay beside her. He touched her between the eyes and she looked at him, her breathing still shallow. He took his finger and started down her nose, down the center of her mouth. He trailed his finger down the center of her chest, down to her belly button, where he stopped and rubbed around it. She smiled a little. She was ticklish. I can't stop him now. God, he knows this drives me up the walls. His finger rubbed down his stomach, and when he got close to her, he laid his hand flat, and his fingers went under her panties between her legs. She was looking in his eyes. She felt his hand start to move away from her, her panties pulling away. I want you. I need you, Bobby. She lifted her hips so that they would have the least resistance. Once they were almost to her knees, she pulled her legs up. The panties went over her knees and then fell. She kicked them away. She closed her eyes and then opened them as she laid her legs back down. He took his finger and started rubbing the lips of her love. He kissed her, and she kissed him back. She grabbed the sheets as he started rubbing quickly. Her breathing started to increase. Her chest lifted as her back arched. God, he knows how to do that better than me. Shit, I'm going to come. She took one of her hands down her side to his hand that was rubbing her clit. She placed it on top of his and moved it down. She moaned slightly. He stopped kissing her. She was hot and wet, her hips rocking slightly. She felt a tingling all over her body. She was getting hot and her head started sweating. She opened her mouth slightly and lifted her head and arched her back. Bobby started biting hard on her breast. Oh, God, Bobby, you're too good to be this young. She lowered her back down on the bed. He rolled over her on her. He started going downward, kissing as he was moving. She placed her hands on his head. He got down between her legs. He took his tongue and he licked around her, then between her lips. Then he started circling her hole and stuck his tongue in her. He moved it up to her hard clit and she gasped. God damn, damn, she thought as she took it in his mouth, as he took it in his mouth and started sucking. As he was sucking, he rubbed his tongue all around it. His hand went up to her breast and started squeezing them. She placed her hands on his and pressed her fingers, tightening his grip on hers. She moved her feet up and used them to pull down his boxers. He lifted his waist so they would come off. Her stomach started moving hard. As she gasped for air, her back started to bow. She released his hand and grabbed his head. She started to breathe harder, tightening her grip in his hair. A soft, oh, Bobby, escaped her lips. Then her voice started to get slightly higher pitched, and she says, ah, oh. Her head came up, and she gasped twice hard. Her hips rocked hard several times. She held her breath and fell back on the bed, pulling her head back. Fuck, this is intense. Damn. Oh, fuck. He got up on top of her and pushed his body up so his weight wouldn't burden her. The head of his cock was at her hole. She reached and grabbed his. Girls crack me up. Somebody reach over there and smack Nathan. I think he's been hiding under something over there. Or fell asleep one. She arched her back and said softly, mm-hmm. Her eyes rolled back slightly, as they always did when he first went into her. How does he do that every time he goes in me? Makes me nearly come. I love the way his dick curves inside me, spreading me, touching places inside I didn't even know were there. I love you so much. Why didn't it hurt to think that? Why am I wanting you to do what you're doing? She pushed her tongue through pressed lips. Her mouth went open and she said in a low voice, oh my God, Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. She grabbed his shoulders, pulling him down on her. He felt her get wetter, her hips rocking up and down with him. He came down, kissing her. Her breathing got harder, and she turned from kissing him with her head next to his. She held him tight. She gasped several times and dug her nails into his shoulders. He wasn't going fast or very hard, but her body rocked with every thrust. She hardly said anything, and his motion started getting harder and faster. She could feel him pulsating inside her. She wrapped her legs around him and grabbed the lower part of his back. He started moving hard and fast as she pulled him deep into her and held on. She started rocking her hips as fast as she could. He was lifting her up and slamming her back on the bed. Oh, yes, yes, Bobby, yes. Her eyes rolled back in her head as her body felt hotter as the tingling in her body increased all over with the climax of her orgasm. Her heart pounded as she felt weak all over. She held him as tight as she could and never wanted to let go. Bobby felt moisture come out of her and she felt him come inside her. She held tight and rocked as fast as she could with him inside of her. She knew that drove him crazy. Oh my God, baby, 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 shit, shit. He moaned as he pulled out of her. He lay down on her with his head next to hers. They both were out of breath. She grabbed him and held him tight against her. He said in a low voice, baby, You're so incredible. I love you so much. Oh, God, Bobby, how do you do that to me? You must be my soulmate. I didn't want him. I wanted you so bad. I've never felt like this with anyone. Oh my God, Stanley, what happened? What did I do? Why did I not want Stanley? Why do I want him? But now everything's backwards. God, what have I done? He felt her body start to tremble and her stomach start to shake. Baby, he started to push himself up. She held him tight and the trembling got worse. Her stomach started to move more. Her body started to shake harder. She shoved him aside. He shoved himself aside. Gloria! He saw the shattered look on her face. Gloria, did I hurt you? Why are you crying? He touched her face. Gloria, did I hurt you? Do I need to take you to the doctor? Baby, talk to me. No, Bobby, you didn't hurt me. What's wrong, baby? Why are you crying like this? This isn't your fault, Bobby. I love him so much. I couldn't stop you. I hate that anyone can make me feel as good as he does when I hold them. What have I done? Tears came to his eyes. I raped you. Oh my God. He shoved himself up and stood looking at her with a devastated look upon his face. She grabbed his arm. No, Bobby, you were right. I did do everything in my power to get you in this room. I wanted to show you that I loved him more than you. I wanted to prove we could be friends so you would give up on me. I just couldn't say stop or get out. Bobby, it's not you, it's me. You did everything so perfect. Don't go, Bobby. Don't go. She put him down beside her. Stay with me. Don't leave me, Bobby. Bobby lay down beside her. What hurts me the most is I want you to make love to me again, she said. Oh my God, Stanley. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Stanley. Bobby held her tight as she cried herself to sleep. When she was asleep, he got up, took a shower, and was about to get dressed. Gloria took him by the hand. With a defeated look on her face, she said in a trembling voice, Come back to bed, Bobby. She let him down. She led him to the bedroom, and they lay down. When he lay down, she turned and faced him and held him. Every time he went to move, she pulled him closer. Ooh, wow. Damn, Nathan. I don't have enough time to do another chapter, y'all. But that one was pretty hot. Pretty hot. Dang, took my toy back in my other bedroom. Whew. What you girls think? Damn. Vincy, you're rotten. You're rotten, child. I'm just putting all my inner demons out in these books. That's why I read them so good. Nina, TMI. Nathan, I think we just had a threesome with Nina. She said she just come. And all I did was read, and all you did was write it. So I guess we had a threesome. That's hilarious. No, Jody, you're going to have to read it. Mm-hmm. Good, so good, so good. It's so good. Oh, Jody, if you can't buy it down there, you might actually know the author. So 99 cents, everybody, go get it. stay tuned. Here in about 10 minutes or so. Well, you'll have to get off this one. I'm gonna shut you out of this one and then go back. Nathan, thank you for letting me read this. I appreciate it. Go get you some sleep, old man. Long hours get old. I know. I've been doing some 9 and 10 hour shifts lately. So what was I saying? Oh, at 9 o'clock tonight, I'm doing Candy Fox's Twisted Time on here. So don't leave your computer. Or if you do, run to the bathroom, run back, go smack the kids, to put them to bed, come back. Whatever you got to do. But be back here at 9 o'clock. And I will be on here with Candy Fox reading her Twisted Time because Facebook wouldn't let me read it yet yesterday. Facebook hates me. So, I'm going to turn the light on. There it goes. So, get your fannies back, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Talk to you later.